Welcome everyone to our community meeting of developers Cozystack. Welcome our new members. I would say that we have Telegram group where you can join and ask your questions. We also have Slack channel in official Kubernetes Slack. So you feel free to ask any questions. We probably don't have anyone who would like to introduce yourself today. So we are moving to agenda. And there are a few topics in agenda. First one is adopters files. Maybe somebody know that we have adopters file, and we are collecting some users of Cozystack. So if you're using Cozystack, especially in production, please feel free to add yourself here. This adopters file will be used as proof that this technology is needed, and it will be used for considering joining CNCF. So this is very important to us. If you're using Cozystack, please send PR and add yourself to this file. The next topic is introducing FerretDB. I just wanted to say that we added FerretDB into Cozystack. It is not released yet, but this is how it looks like. FerretDB is free alternative to MongoDB. So in comparison with MongoDB, it can be used for free and under Apache 2 license. While MongoDB is licensed under BSL, and we can't simply adopt it due to licensing limitation. So FerretDB is a simple Go service which is used as proxy to PostgresDB database. So we used the same cloud native PG operator for creating Postgres. And it is also seen in our beautiful dashboard. Very simple. You can create new database, then use MongoDB protocol to store the data there. That's it. Marianne?
FerretDB use Postgres as a backend, or what this DB works, how it works?
Yeah, I can show you how it works exactly. So it is
done
done.
Some documentation about that, but don't understand all.
Yeah, it is supported to have two different backends. I think I can show demo to you in just a second.
It will be nice.
Just lost my window.
Because for me, it's look like MongoDB interface, but on the back end, you use it to store data, something like Postgres or something else.
Yeah, I just see there is some errors, but I will fix them later. By the way, there are two Postgres instances. It is deployed. I'm just a little bit confused. It should be done by, yeah. Get crd, grep Postgres clusters. Because, yeah, here it is. So we deploy Postgres cluster using CNPG, and then simple deployment is created out of two replicas. And it is used Postgres as backend. So very simple stateless thing, which is storing data in Postgres. and you can connect it using Mongo SH. This way, providing login, password, then service to the FerretDB,
Okay.
and
got
use
it.
plain authentication mechanism.
Okay, and we need to create first PostgresDB, and next step is write this. This
No,
Postgres.
not exactly, because right now it is, let's go to packages, apps. We have two different apps here. We have Postgres and we have FerretDB. They are fully independent. They both deploy Postgres cluster under the hood, but the logic is slightly different, especially in creating users and modifying permissions. In FerretDB, we create this Postgres cluster,
Okay, clear.
and also all the things around it. And the FerretDB is just simple deployment, which is used as proxy to this Postgres.
Okay, it's a nice idea to use Postgres.
Yeah, I think we will use Postgres the same way for bootstrapping CVDFS next time when we will implement it. But yeah, it is just tool which is used for like backend for storing metadata and all the data. But finally, user gets the correct. Oh, I see. Already see where is there were min sync replicas and max sync replicas to 0. Okay, this is not fixed. This is not merged yet. This is not released yet. So I think we will have time to fix it and to align with them for the production use. One more change I would like to show is new beautiful dashboard for Ingress is now working. Unfortunately, I have no as much traffic here, but you can see that it provides you information of amount of errors and specific ingresses, where is it routed. So now it is working. You can see the hosts, some beautiful charts to understand what is happening with your Nginx Ingress controller. I will just put it down. One more change. This is more likely to PRs needed to attention, is the change for Postgres. There are amount of PRs which are needed to be reviewed. I think we can go over them and just I'll explain what is exactly happening here. So the Postgres also changed a little bit. We have this ugly, scary job, which is fixing permissions and also setting users, creating users, databases, and things like that. Before that, this job wasn't managing any other schemas. So in Postgres, you have database. Inside of database, you have schema. And inside of schema, you can create new tables. So by default, there is only public schema. The script before wasn't managing any other schemas. So when I implemented FerretDB, I found that for every MongoDB database, the new schema in Postgres created. And we also have to set correct permissions. So this logic also used for improve Postgres chart to also fix permissions for the Postgres itself. What it does, it creates trigger, which is handling after the new schema is created. And after the schema is created, it changes owner for this, for database admin, and also grants all the needed permissions for reading the information from this database. That's it. I hope somebody could review this.
Yeah, I reviewed this PR, but need to some explanation, and
Yeah,
now I
it might be a little bit difficult to understand because of the amount of SQL code there. But actually, what it does, it just replaces. It adds trigger for moving those commands and run them not only for public schema, but also for every newly created schemas.
Yep, I see.
Thank you, Marianne. The next PR I think we have to talk about is about moving all these logos into Cozystack container. Right now, all these logos are just located in some SDN or they downloaded from Wikipedia. So in case if you have no access to Wikipedia or to some specific external site, or if external site removed this picture from itself, these logos will not be available anymore. I made a decision to ship all these logos together with the Cozystack platform, the same way like we're doing with the charts. But we've also found some discussion, especially because Marianne, can you shed a light on your points, please?
Okay, I explain. Maybe we need to combine these images and these logos to image dashboard, maybe, because if we add some additional files, some logos or some readmes to each Helm repository, it's, for me, it's like it's not good idea, maybe.
I can explain you how it works right now. I think it can be useful for everyone. So all those logos, also dashboards, we have some dashboards for Grafana, and all the Helm charts, which are used to install from the system components from, they are finally get into core installer package. If we can see the deployment file here, it has two containers, the Cozystack installation script, and the second one is dark HTTPD server. This server is used to serve all the assets needed to download dashboards from, to serve Helm charts used by FluxCD. So FluxCD is not downloading these Helm charts from the external repositories. It takes them especially from this HTTP server. And I think that putting the logos into the same HTTP server is a good solution because this container can be simply rebuilt, and it is intended to rebuild it very often. Anytime when you're changing anything in this repository, you go and rebuild the installer image and apply it. So the logos will be immediately available, the same way as the charts. There were in consideration to put it into packages system dashboard. But I would say this, I wouldn't like to rebuild this image every time when we're adding new application or updating old ones. I think keeping them all eggs in the same bin is a good idea in this way. What do you think?
But I think we can create maybe a separate repository for logos and other helped functions or helped files, and probably this HTTP server can get from this repository.
Yes, but there is one more thing, that it will not be working in air-gapped installations. The value of Cozystack, that you can take all the Docker images needed to run Cozystack, push them into your repository, and that's it. You don't need anything else. Yes, right now there is, and it still uses a lot of external images, but Nikita is currently working on opportunity moving them into repository as well. So I think in the future we will have this approach. So when you're building Cozystack, it will also download all the needed images it uses for Cilium, for dashboard, for everything, actually.
Okay, but this approach can be work. We can in build process get from other repositories some files and insert to this image.
Yeah, you're just talking about storing them.
Yes.
You mean there's sources?
I mean physical storing, because
source code.
Yes, because we maybe
I think SVG shouldn't be a problem for storing in Git repository. I also don't like to keeping them.
But this approach we can maybe use for other files, and
yeah, I totally agree that it is not a place to store binary files in Git repository, but SVGs are simple code. So you can see that it is just code, and it can be simply stored. It's not takes you too much space, and it is still code. So it is intended to store by Git. And I see many projects are doing this, especially all the CNCF projects. They're storing their logos in the repository. So I don't think that this is big trouble.
okay.
From the other side,
we can try this approach, and
yeah, from the other side, I can say that having external HTTP server for storing them also should be pain, because we need to find where to upload them and to find the flow, how we're going to upload and change them in case we need to do this change. Right now, we have this approach that we're storing all the Helm charts in Git repository. I think that storing SVG logos also shouldn't be a problem. That's it.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you too. One more change I propose, that not every package, not every application we're installing right now, they this is one more change. This one is for if you do local development, if you run make apply by default, it will disable this release from the updating. This change will unsuspend these Helm releases when Cozystack container restarts. So it will put them into reconcile state. I think this is important thing to do, because I also do some local changes, and every time I might forget to unsuspend them. This will guarantee that every time when you're starting new Cozystack container, if you're restarting it, everything will be reconciled as expected and how it is written in bundle. What do you think of this approach?
This nice improvement. But can we add some variable for or change our change path where we push our Helm charts?
What do you mean?
I mean, maybe we can change.
Yeah, sorry, I got your question. We're not pushing any Helm charts to external repositories. All of them getting compiled into target files, and those files get
Oh, I know.
get stored in this installer package. So we don't have any dependencies on external repositories.
Yes,
everything is shipped in
I
Docker image.
forgot that. Okay, nice. Thanks.
But still good to talk about this in a community meeting so everybody can see this answer and find answer for this question later. And the last change introduced is rename system releases to have cozy prefix. The thing is that not every package have operator to install. So all these packages in our catalog, they usually get managed by operator approach, but some of them are not. And we use this approach to deliver these packages using Flux. And those packages currently managed by, I can show you. It is about Nginx Ingress first. Nginx Ingress controller. And also, if you're updating monitoring, there is an opportunity to install on-call support, to add on-call, Grafana on-call. Those packages getting installed from extra, and they just applying Helm release with needed parameters. So we still use the same operator approach, but it is not managed by operator, but Flux CD. So the main idea is to have these system packages installed with cozy prefix. This would allow us to not mix system packages and user-defined Helm releases and apply them the same way. The main reason for this change is currently I'm working for adding NAT support, and it is not intended to be installed by the operator. In official repository, it is written that they don't suggest you to use operator for installing and use Helm charts for newer deployments. This way, we need two Helm charts, one Helm chart for deploying NATS itself. It is going to be added into system repository, system packages. So system packages, system NATS, and one more package will be added to see it here in catalog. I hope you understand what I'm talking about and the cause of the problem.
Okay, but if I understand correct, Ingress, Nginx, and also package without operator, without controller by operator, maybe. Okay, I understand.
So we have this two-step installation. We still keeping all the packages needed to be installed, which have no the operator to manage them. They added to the system packages. For example, we have Nginx Ingress here and Grafana on call. But as you can see, those packages not managed by any bundle.
Okay.
But they can be installed through the user-faced application, which is also Helm chart, and we need somehow to split them.
Okay, and this applications installed to user space namespaces.
Yeah, I think I can show them just to explain. So, for example, we have tenant root.
Yes, because I don't understand why we need to create some prefix for that.
We don't actually need this, but I think it is good to have some convention of the naming. For example, this chart is installed by user, but this chart also installs this chart as part of this chart. This is done for make templating and keep original values, but still to provide the interface for the user. We want to show them only values of this chart, and this chart is the system one. The main idea is for such system charts to add cozy prefix, or we can also consider some other prefixes like system, for example, or cozy system and the name of the chart.
Okay, maybe I understand your point. And you propose to monitoring Ingress, etcd, add some prefix.
Not for them, but for example, this chart is not seen in dashboard, only this one.
Okay.
So my idea is to have these system charts or all these charts which are installed from the system to have specific prefix or suffix. I think the prefix would be better. We usually use cozy prefix for such cases, and I think it might be useful also for this case.
But what namespace contained this service?
This service can be installed on every namespace. For example, you can create new namespace and install Nginx Ingress there.
Okay.
It will template
user namespaces.
Tenant namespaces.
Okay, I understand. Okay, maybe this is a good idea. We can try if we always can change this.
Yeah, so feel free to review it. Thank you, Marian. You're always reviewing my PRs. I really appreciate this. One more change was from Ruben. He made whitelist option for the Nginx, and also put some feedback that I would like to have it configured slightly differently. But after all, it just adds set real IP from Cloudflare. So if we have traffic routed from the Cloudflare to the Nginx Ingress controller, it can extract and recover a real IP address from it, which might be really useful. Just put some.
But what we have if this curls not cannot get this white list, and what
There are actually two options added. The first one, which is enabling whitelisting, this is standard option for Nginx to specify IPs and networks from which it is allowed to connect to the Nginx Ingress globally. And the second option is used for recovering the IP address from headers. So Cloudflare, when it is proxying the When it is proxying, it is also adding specific header, which is holding original client IP address. And this option is used for recovering Cloudflare IP address of the client. Hi, Ruben.
Hello, guys.
Yeah, I just introducing your change, and I find it really useful. The only thing I would like to have is to have different naming for the options, because right now we have whitelist, underread whitelist HTTP. I know where you copied this, but this is not applicable for Nginx. It is applicable only for proxy because it can also proxy TCP. Here, I think we can just specify a simple list of the whitelists of the IP addresses, and if there are anything from it will be enabled. And if it's empty, it will be disabled. Do you agree on this?
Yeah, sure. The reason when I pulled the PR was that I didn't handle to generate a makefile, because when I was trying to handle out how it is generating some README, that's why I PR'd to use to ask how can I handle it, because also I noticed such a problem when I was trying to generate when I exactly I was testing all this on the Ubuntu. So when I was trying to run a makefile there, which must receive all that IP addresses and inject them to the YAML file. So it was injecting, but after it was showing me such problem, as if it can't find the exact place where this file is dedicated. When I was running it on my macOS, it was running successfully. So
are you talking about a Helm README generator?
Not only the not only README generated, but also the makefile that I write it also little script in order to receive the IP addresses and to inject them to the YAML file when it's running makefile. You see that there is curl, it's receiving IP addresses, and it must after.
I think this is because of this hash. You can try to remove it, or you can also put it into quotes.
Quotes. Okay, I got it.
So I think there might be a case in that. There is also some. Yeah, you found that you have to escape some options like this in makefile. Yeah, got it. You can also put this list into separate Helm template, or I think right now it is. So you use sed.
Yeah.
Never mind. I think this is not critical. It can be overwritten anytime. So just keep it as is. The only thing is this value schema file. It should be automatically generated, and currently we have no documentation for this. The only thing you need to install this README generator for Helm.
I will try now. I was thinking about some case approximately 10 minutes later. The main, I think that one of the possibilities to make a large community around Cozystack is to also write a README how to make some environment where you can also develop Cozystack and try to make some changes, because I was not familiar to makefile. I was not familiar also for some other systems, but I was able to understand it with talking to ChatGPT approximately 2 days. What is this? What is that? How it worked? And I think that there will be guys who are, I don't know, maybe familiar to Helm, but they don't know makefile and other things. So if you make us some README about how to make your environment in order to test some things, and it will be great options. So I think that people who can contribute to Cozystack will be happy with that, so they can really help the project. without investigating how to make your own copy of Cozystack in order to handle.
I totally agree, and I'm very sorry that I didn't do this in previously. I still have no opportunity to find time for this. I will really try to do this next week. I hope I will find time for it, especially to just starting. So anybody like you can also put some findings into this document. I think I can create even just structure, and feel free to contribute.
Yeah, sure. I think because you're also using some GitHub actions in order to run some make files when it is building. So when I was trying to run all of that make files separately, so even when I tried to change Talos version to 1.5, I was able to generate all the dependencies, all the packages that we also need to run after Cozystack, but it was not generating from the make file the tar.he.has format in order to install it on bare metal. So I was able also to handle it running separate command, but I think that the reason is because you have some scripts that are running in GitHub Actions, and it's also not.
Currently, we have no any GitHub Actions. We really want them, but we need to find where exactly to run them. The only problem is that Cozystack it is intended to install Cozystack on bare metal nodes, and it is not easy to run on free infrastructure provided by GitHub. Currently, we're solving this issue. When we will solve it, I think we will set up GitHub Actions. All the packages and all the assets, they should be generated from the make files. So if you found this issue, please raise the question in GitHub or in our community chat, and I will try to investigate it and help you with solving this.
To tell the truth, we have made our own copy of Cozystack. We named it Bootstack, but it's not for, I don't know, maybe some separate project. It's only for our enterprise use. But in order to have some environment where we can do some changes without affecting the main repo, we just created it. And also I'm now running Hugo template for web page where I will go with some readmes about how to use it. And it will also be only for our corporate use, but all the articles that you will like it and you will prove that it can be also injected to Cozystack webpage, we will also copy all that there. Because I want to have a fully documentation about how to run it on Ænix bare metals, how to use Ænix with switch, Ænix load balancer, and so on. So you will complete readme about how to run it. I don't know, maybe for 20 minutes, and you are ready to go. I even now added Argo CD because I'm just more familiar to Argo CD, not Cozystack. But I decided to make it so Cozystack with Flux CD is installing all system applications that we need, and Argo CD, it's just like something that already for some business needs. It has also maybe some bundles that where you can also define what bundle you want, and it will after install some other applications. So I will show you later.
Awesome. We also using Argo CD in some setups. It is very convenient for business logic in case if you need to deliver applications which are going to develop internally for business needs. So Argo CD is really useful for programmers. They happy to use this interface and happy to deliver these packages into Cozystack. I think we can also add Argo CD in Cozystack. Anyway, feel free to, if you want to contribute, you can send these changes to upstream. I think most of them will be accepted.
I've already added Argo CD. Also, external secrets operator, external DNS operator. It's already all in the stuff. I will share it later. I just want to understand more how is Makefile working, because I have some problems with understanding how it's exactly I must generate all that readmes and so on. But I noticed that you sent me that from Bitnami how it must be used, so I will try later today.
Thank you. And one more thing, you skipped that from the beginning. We have adopters file. It is right in Cozystack repo. Right now, there is just one company, ours, but feel free to add yourself that you're using and consuming Cozystack. This will make more chance to get this project adopted by CNCF.
Oh, sure, I will.
So they're usually taking amount of adopters using this project, and if there are enough of adopters, even if they not very big, they will accept it to Sandbox with a more chance.
Can you check it now? I will just pull all the stuff just later, but I have shared in our chat the domain name. Where is it correct that Bootstack is developed on top of Cozystack in order for also for CNCF to not just do some pure things, but in order to use it like Apache license is.
Yeah, it is possible. You can use yeah, even if you use Apache license, you can even use it in closed code if there is some bridge business logic which you don't want to share.
You see, in the first line, I have defined that Bootstack is developed on top of Cozystack. So I just want to create a full README for our company in order everybody to handle out how our infrastructure is installed and so on, because I'm the only one who is familiar for all these systems. All others even don't know how to, I don't know, install some applications from Windows. So it's very difficult for me to handle all this stuff alone in our company. Right
I
now.
think this is very cool because you're already the second one who is doing this to describe all the infrastructure and case how you installing Cozystack and how you're using it. The first one was Kingdom from Fluxity.
Yeah.
And I think we can also consider to create some project like awesome Cozystack and to put all of such projects into it and also use it for marketing purposes.
Sure. I'm going to make very awesome videos about how to install it with all the animations and so on in order when they will look for that. The vision must be very beautiful also. So I will.
Awesome. Cool. I just put it into OpenFlower.
Sure.
Thank you for the information.
Thank you for this great project.
And feel free to add yourself to adopters and send pull requests for making it managed by upstream project.
Yeah, sure.
Can
I ask one last question? I'm just also new to Hugo and all this stuff, so I noticed that Cozystack is also using Hugo. Are you using some CMS like Ænix CMS or something else in order to edit or it is only MD files that must be edited?
The Hugo is static generator. There are some set of them like Hexo, and there were some from Python. It is very useful because you can generate the files and they will be accessible. There is on this project CI pipeline which is publishing this website from the source code to the GitHub pages. So this site is fully static and everybody can push the changes by sending the pull requests. Every pull request get accepted into main. Yeah. It will be published right here. So
I mean,
This-
can I suggest a little bit later some also changes? I will show you I will show them in our page, and I will suggest you to have them on the main page, because we can make there. Have you noticed maybe some Apple pages when we are scrolling down, it is showing the concept, what is that product for, and so on. So maybe we can make here more clear for someone who is new to Cozystack, where he will go down and some animations will come showing multi-tenancy and some other things in order to.
Yeah, I think it makes sense. The only thing that we're using default scheme, it is called Dockly. It is used on multiple sites, for example, Kubernetes, and it might be not easy to change it. So Kubernetes,
I found some references, and I think that we can help with it also a bit later.
Yeah. Anyway, we are open to suggestions, and this website is more likely for documentation purposes. I think it is good that anybody can contribute to this. If you have any ideas, just create an issue or raise the question.
For me, like for user, you know, what the concept that I even now can't understand clearly, that we have tenant and we have separate Kubernetes managed services. So you can even when you have installed any other managed Kubernetes service from the dashboard UI, you can even create another tenants. So in that case, all that stuff just will be created another namespace with the tenants, yes, and also all the stuff will be installed there. But for in order to make it more clearly, we must first install another copy of another managed Kubernetes service, and after only install in that namespace some tenant or not. Well, I can't handle what's the steps in order to have separate ones. So we have installed Cozystack, bootstrapped it, and we have main tenant root. After we must first create tenant.
First, you have to understand that every tenant has its own namespace. When you're creating new tenant, the new namespace is created. So tenants are likely projects. If you're creating new project, if you're creating new developer team, you have to create new tenant. Then you can give them access to their namespace. They even don't have to have access for Kubernetes API of Cozystack, but they can order their own Kubernetes. In this Kubernetes, they will have full rights for themselves. So they can create namespaces. They can be fully cluster admins there.
So we must first create separate tenant, and after or in that separate tenant create Kubernetes managed service in order to connect the tenant to that managed Kubernetes service. Yes. That
Yep.
Tenant. I got it. I was doing just.
So tenant is like
I was creating first copy in tenant root. I was creating managed Kubernetes service, and after only creating new tenant, and I can understand why.
No. Tenant is just a separate entity for installing services. And inside of every tenant, you can create Kubernetes, you can create MySQL, Postgres, and stuff like that.
So first we go from tenant, and after we install, we must create the Kubernetes and all other stuff that we need.
Yep, yeah, exactly.
Got it. Thank you.
Thank you too. And we have 7 minutes left. Do you have any other questions? Because we are almost finished.
Yeah, I was thinking about development documentation. So maybe you should create a shared Google Doc file so we can just put our ideas in there and not to make
just put them
a wall of commits.
Just put them in GitHub issues and GitHub pull requests, or what do you mean? We have this repository with all the documentation available. If you want to change something, oh, somebody already sent pull requests. I have to check it. So feel free to send pull requests here, and they're going to be reviewed and accepted.
Okay, I just thought that it would contain a large amount of text that would be altered in some way, and it would be a little bit hard to review a large amount of text in a pull request. But okay,
I think this is possible. So you can prepare the doc file in Google Docs, and next meeting we will share it with the others. Or we can create pull requests to let the rest members of the project to know about this document. It is still possible, yes. And you can share it with the same group like here. It is shared with Cozystack development group.
got it. Okay.
So that's it.
All right, I have one more important question. I think that when we are installing Cozystack, so I know that we can change Linstore to something else, but if you don't want, because as you told, as you always telling, it's your all expertise in the Cozystack, and we don't want to make some changes, even not familiar what to use instead. So Linstore is limited with the RVX, that it has not default some RVX options. So we must use some NFS in order to have some RVX options, RVX persistent volumes. How can, even when we are in our tenant root, not using something familiar, and we are giving to our developers some tools in order to develop some applications, and if they must use in their application some RVX persistent volume, because that application is in cluster mode, it has some other pods that they almost write to the same volume, how they are able to make some option in order to have
right now it is not possible. So there are two options how we can use read-write mania for block devices and for file system. For block devices, read-write mania is supported by Linstore, but it is useless for standard workloads. We are considering to adopt CVDFS. There is even open pull request for this. And this CVDFS, it supports to giving you read-write many volumes using Fuse system. It is slow, but it works. I think we will use this opportunity of CVDFS to provide read-write many volumes. Another option can be to use NFS server provisioner. It is now called NFS Ganesha server and external provisioner. You can install this Helm chart. It will use Linstore as backend, and it will give you normal NFS share, which you can use in read-write many for multiple users.
So can we, I don't know, maybe some add some option in our tenant, for example, like it's Ingress, it's like the etcd and monitoring, because I think it's also some option that if when in tenant root we are enabling some option that they can use RVX is going further. And also one little question, if we are discussing some our tasks about investment and so on, but we can also make some paid option if we can support in order to add such function already in the Cozystack beside of our other talks about investment and so on.
Sure. This is in our roadmap. We want to add read-write many support, and I think I will continue working on CVDFS next week. Maybe it will be ready for use in 2 weeks or something like that.
That's great. Thank you.
It is mainly used to provide S3 buckets, but I think it will be also possible to use it for read-write many volumes.
That's great.
That's it, and we are out of time. So I think we can finish. And thank you everyone for attending our meeting. See you next time, next week. Little bit longer time, so more to evening. See you, bye.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.